Hi guys, it's Jim and this is J&R Woodworking. And today I want to do a little review on this Ryobi sliding chop saw I bought and tell you what I think of it. Seeing I don't have a sponsor, I can tell you exactly what I think about it. Some of the issues I've had, problems, and some of the good points. Let me get a board up here and spin this camera around and I'll show you the first thing that I like about it. Okay, the first thing is it has a laser. That's nice. You can line it up on this line. I got a little pencil mark here. I think you can see this laser mark. I'm not really sure. The only problem with it is when you have the saw up and you get the board lined up, you bring the saw down. I don't know if you can see that, but the line moves over about a 32nd of an inch. So you can use it for lining up on a pencil mark. All these boards I cut were at a 45, and I would draw a line on them. I would use this to line up on the line. Not all of them were 45. Some were different. Most of them were off. A lot of them I had to cut around 44, 43. Now you can see this just locked in. And now you can't move it to get it on the angle I want. Well, they have two levers under here. One pulls the spring out of the detents so you can move it. The other one, you can hear it click. It locks that lever open so you can move this without anything snapping in on you. So you can tweak this thing around to get the angle you want. Then you lock this handle and you can make your cut. You just can't make the cut where the laser is right now. When you bring it down to cut, you got to move it over about a 32nd, then you can make your cut. The laser did help for getting my angle lined up. It just didn't help me any for actually cutting the board. And another thing I didn't like about it, and all of them I looked at had this same issue. You get this thing all the way out on these rails. There's a lot of slop in these rails and these bearings back here. I don't know if you can actually see this moving, but it wiggles up and down, I don't know, darn near 1/8 of an inch. Now for the cuts I was making, they were square with the table. I didn't do any compound angles one way or the other. If you were going to do a compound angle, I think that would have gave you a lot of problems. Because if you're coming down here on an angle and this thing is moving up and down, you're going to end up with a real wide cut and it's not going to be straight. Let me flip this upside down and I'll show you another problem I didn't like. You can see the bottom of it. These are the factory detents where this spring snaps into. These are all the ones that are machined into the base of the saw. Most of the saws, probably about 40% of them that I looked at, they had some type of screws either down here or up on the face, and this could be moved so you could adjust this and get this 45 detent and this one exactly 45. Now, if they made these cuts and got the cut this 45 machined off from this 45, you're still up a creek. because you can't change that. All you could change is you could turn all of them to try to tweak it in to get it where you want it. This one you cannot. This is machined right in the base of the saw. I guess other than that, this guard, well, I guess if they told me to take this thing home and try it. I know the guys at Home Depot, they said, we have a 30-day return policy. Take it, try it. If you don't like it, bring it back. Well, I'm going to go back and talk to them and see what they say. I may keep this. But I will have to say, if I do keep it, this thing is going to go over on the shelf with the rest of my guards. For the most part, I think personally, guards get in my way more and make the saw more dangerous than the machine itself without the guard. Because to make the laser work, I'm constantly lifting this thing up. You got your hands by the blade. If it wasn't in my way, I could just tip this down and line it up on the mark and cut it. But that's me personally. I guess personally I just don't like guards. I guess it's because I work in a big shop and OSHA is always in there telling me what you have to do and this has got to be this way. And I've seen a lot of machines that they have rendered totally worthless with their guards on them. You can't run them. So you put up with it. And when they leave, you take them off and you put them back the way they were. What saw is a good saw? I haven't found one yet. I went to all three big box stores, Lowe's, Menards, and Home Depot, and all these sliding saws that I looked at had the same problem. They're sloppy. The one I have is a Rockwell. It's just strictly a chop saw. It's not a compound. It doesn't tip. Back when I bought that, probably 30 years ago, they were solid cast iron. No aluminum, no plastic, cast iron. They had adjustable stops on your 45s both ways that was a little screw, and you turn the screw in until it hits your arm, and it locked in exactly on 45. These don't have that. That one is independent from each other. I can adjust the 45 to the left, and I can adjust the 45 to the right independently. These, if they're adjustable at all you can do is adjust the whole track, and that's it. I don't know what to tell you. I can't recommend this one. I don't really like it that much. I did use it. It worked pretty good for what I was doing. If I was going to try to do compound work or put up crown molding in a house, I wouldn't use it. I'd go back to my old one. I've done a lot of it with that, never had a problem. But I guess that's how I feel about it. I'm sure there's other people out there that have these that love them. It's just your opinion. What you're used to, what you like to use, I guess that's it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, drop me a line, put a comment at the bottom of the video, or send me an email to jnrwoodworking2, that's the number 2, at gmail.com, or jimsfixitshop@gmail.com. Same place. And talk to you later, I guess. Work safe and have fun.